Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 edition of Advanced Problems on Demand Function. In each of these parts of Advanced Problem on Demand Function, an inclusive problem is solved so that you can get good comment over how to hammer the problem on this topic. Now here a numerical problem is selected and I am going to solve this problem here right now, where the demand functions of three individuals x, y, z are given and the market supply function is given. We have to find out the market equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity, the elasticity of demand of each consumer at a certain price, that is when price is 30, and the quantity purchased by each consumer at the equilibrium price. Right? Now we know that the market demand is summation of the demand of all the individuals in the community or in the economy. So if we add up the demand for the commodities of the each of the consumers, then we shall get the market demand of that commodity, right? And the market supply function is given, and we know that equilibrium price and quantity are determined by the equality between market demand and market supply, right? So I am going to solve this problem. Please look at the whiteboard. Solution. Market demand QD is equal to QX plus QY plus QZ. These are the individual demand of the consumers X, Y and Z. Here you can see the demand functions are given, and basically these are inverse demand functions. We have to convert the inverse demand functions into original demand functions to find out the quantity demanded by each consumer. So for X, that is for individual X, P equals to 100 minus 2qx, therefore minus 2qx equals to p minus 100, or 2qx equals to 100 minus p, therefore qx equals to 100 minus p divided by 2. This is equal to 50 minus p by 2. So this is the quantity demanded by consumer X. For Y, P equals to 50 minus 1 by 2 qy. So this is P equals to 50 minus 1 by 2 qy. Therefore, minus 1 by 2 qy is equal to P minus 50 or minus qy equals to 2p minus 100. Therefore, qy equals to 100 minus 2p. So this is the quantity demanded by individual y. Similarly, for z, the inverse demand function is 1 by 4 qz. Therefore, P equals to 50 minus 1 by 4 qz. Therefore, minus 1 by 4 qz equals to P minus 50 or minus qz equals to 4P minus 200. Therefore, qz equals to 200 minus 4P. So we have got the quantity demanded by 3 individual consumers. Now at equilibrium, we know that at equilibrium quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. QD is equal to QS. Now what is QD? QD equals to QX plus QY plus QZ. This is equal to this plus this plus this. So this is equal to 50 minus P by 2 plus 100 minus 2P, 100 minus 2P plus 200 minus 4P. This is QX, this is QY, this is QZ. The sum of QX, QY and QZ gives us QD, that is market demand. Therefore, QD equals to 200 plus 100 plus 50, that is 350. 350 minus P plus 2P plus 8P equals to 350 minus 13P by 2 equals to 350 minus 6.5P. So this is the market demand. QD is the market demand and this is sum of the individual demands. Now we know at equilibrium QD equals to QS. So this will be equal to QS and QS is given here. The market supply is given here, that is 50 plus 1.5P. So if we equate QS and QD, we will get equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Therefore, 350 minus 6.5P is equal to 50 plus 1.5P. This means 350 minus 50 is equal to 6.5 plus 1.5. $300 equals to 8P. 6.5P plus 1.5P gives 8P. Therefore, P equals to 300 by 8, that is 3 is 24, 31 to 24 is 6, 7, 8 plus 56. divides 4, 5. So 37.5 is the equilibrium price. We have found out the equilibrium price as 37.5. Now, if we put the value of P in either supply function or the market demand function, then we will get the equilibrium quantity. So putting the value of P in QS, we can jolly well put it in QD. Putting the value of P in QS, what is QS? 50 plus 1.5 P. Q equals to 50 plus 1.5 into 37.5. This is equal to 50 plus, what is the value of 37.5 into 1.5? Let us see. 37.5 into 1.5, that gives us 56.25. So it is 50 plus 56.25. 50 plus 56.25. This is equal to 106.25. So this is equilibrium quantity, this is equilibrium price, and this is equilibrium quantity. So answer is equilibrium price is 37.5 and equilibrium quantity is 106.25. Right? So part 1 of the problem is solved. Now we shall take up part 2 of the problem, that is the quantity purchased by each consumer. Now, how we can determine the quantity purchased by each consumer? Each consumer will purchase the commodity at what price? At the market price at 37.5. So if we put the value of P in the individual demand functions, then we shall get the quantity demanded by individual buyers, right? The consumers are purchasing the commodity at the market price, and we know the market price, that is 37.5, that is the equilibrium price. Now, if we put the equilibrium price in the individual demand functions, then we shall get the quantity demanded by individual buyers. So we are starting second part, 2. What is QX? 50 minus P by 2. So quantity demanded or purchased by X is QX equals to 50 minus P by 2, that is, what is P? 37.5. 50 minus 37.5 by 2, that is equal to, let us see, 18.75. So this is 50 minus 18.75. That is 31.25. So this is the quantity purchased by individual X. This is the quantity purchased by individual X. Right? So what we have done, we have put the value of P, that is the equilibrium price, in the demand function, of individual X, and we have found out how much quantity individual X is purchasing, that is 31.25. Similarly, quantity demanded by Y is Qy is equal to, what is the quantity demanded by Y? 100 minus 2P. 100 minus 2P is equal to 100 minus 2 into the market price, equilibrium price 37.5. Right? This is the quantity demanded by individual Y. Qy equals to 100 minus 2P, and we have put the value of P in the equation, that is 100 minus 2 into 37.5 is equal to 100 minus 75 goes to 25. So quantity purchased by individual Y is 25. In the same way, we shall find out the quantity purchased by individual Z. Quantity demanded or purchased or consumed by individual Z is how much? Qz equals to 200 minus 40 equals to 200 minus 4P, that is equal to 200 minus 4 into, what is P? 37.5 equals to 200 minus, how much is 37.5 into 4? 37.5 into 4, this is 150. So 200 minus 150 is 50. Right? So this is the quantity purchased by individual Z. So this is the quantity purchased by individual X, this is the quantity purchased by individual Y, and this is the quantity purchased by individual Z. So if we add up the purchase of X, purchase of Y and purchase of Z, then we shall get the total market demand, that is 106.25. Let us check. 31.25 plus 25 plus 50 . Yeah. So I have cross-checked that I have done it correct. So part 2 of the problem is solved. Now come to part 3. What is part 3? Price elasticity of each buyer at price 30. I am doing part 3 here. Price elasticity is ED is equal to QB into P by Q. This is the formula of price elasticity of demand, and price elasticity is denoted by ED. Now we have to find out the price elasticity of each buyer at price 30. Now let us see what is the quantity demanded at price 3 by individual buyers. So first, for X, what is the quantity demanded? 50 minus P by 2 So 50 Q equals to 50 minus what value of P shall we take now? We shall take 30 instead of 31.25, which is the market equilibrium price. We are taking 30 because we are required to find out the elasticity of demand at price 30, not at price 31.25. So here Q equals to 50 minus 30 by 2. So this is 50 minus 15, that is 35, right? And what is QD QP here? QD by QD QP equals to derivative of 50 minus P by 2 DDP 50 minus P by 2 equals to 0 minus 1 by 2. Derivative of 50 is 0 and derivative of P by 2 is minus 1 by 2. So this is minus 1 by 2. Therefore, ED equals to QD by QD QP into P by Q equals to what is QD QP? Minus 1 by 2 into what is P? P is 30 and what is Q? Q is 35. Q is 35 at price 30. So this is how much? .428. Let us take it minus 0.43. Therefore, ED equals to 0.43. We ignore the negative sign while solving practical problems. The negative sign only denotes that the demand curve is downward sloping, nothing else. So whenever we are going to solve practical problems, ignore the negative sign. Now this is for Y. For Y, Q equals to what is the quantity demanded by Q? 100 minus 2P. 100 minus 2, and what is the value of P? 30, not 31.25. Remember, 2 into 30 equals to 100 minus 60 equals to 40. So at price P, individual Y is purchasing quantity 40. This is the demand function of Y. 100 minus 2P, 100 minus 2 into, we have put 30 in place of P. The value of P is taken 30. So 100 minus 60 is 40. The 40 is Q for individual Y. Correct? Now what is DQ DP here? Q equals to 100 minus 2P. So DQ DP equals to minus 2. Derivative of 100 is 0. 100 is a constant number. So it is 0. And derivative of minus 2P is minus 2. So DQ DP is minus 2. And what is the value of P? P is 30 and Q is 40. Therefore, price elasticity equals to minus 2 into 30 by 40 equals to 6 by 4 minus 6 by 4 equals to minus 1.5. Therefore, ED equals to 1.5. So we have calculated price elasticity or demand for individual Y. Similarly, this is for Y. Similarly, for Z, Q equals to, what is the demand function of individual Z? Qz equals to 200 minus 4p. So we write 200 minus 4 into, what is P? 30. 4 into 30 equals to 200 minus 120 equals to 80. This means individual Z is purchasing 80 units at price 30. Okay. Now again we find out what dQ/dP for individual Z. This is equal to differentiation of Qz equals to 200 minus 4p, that is we differentiate Q with respect to P. This comes to 0 minus 4. Why? Derivative of 200 is 0 and of minus 4p is 4 minus 4. So this is equal to minus 4. dQ/dP is minus 4. Therefore, ED equals to dQ/dP into P by Q equals to minus 4 into, what is P? P is 30. And what is Q? 80. Right? So it comes to 1.5 minus 1.5. Therefore, ED equals to 1.5. Again, we ignore the negative sign. Correct? The demand function of Z is 200 minus 4p, that 200 minus 4 into 30, that is 200 minus 120. 200 minus 120 is 80. And what is dQ/dP? We differentiate Q with respect to P here. So that is 200 becomes 0 and minus 4p becomes minus 4. So dQ/dP is minus 4. ED equals to dQ/dP into P by Q, that is minus 4 into P. What is P? 30. And what is Q? 80. So 4 into 30 by 80, that is 120 by 80 minus 120 by 80, and minus 120 by 80 is minus 1.5, and we take the, always take the positive value of elasticity, although it is negative because the demand curve is downward sloping. But for all practical purposes and for solving numerical problems, we shall ignore the negative side. So ED of consumer X is 0.43, 0.43. Consumer Y is 1.5 and consumer Z is also 1.5. Right? So here we have solved this inclusive numerical problem. The problem has three parts. We have to find out equilibrium price, that is market price and quantity. Second, the quantity purchased by each consumer. And third, the price elasticity of each buyer at price 30. And what information is given? Individual demand functions are given. These are all inverse demand functions of individuals X, Y and Z, and the supply function is given. In the first part, we have calculated the equilibrium price and quantity by equating market demand and market supply. And what is the market demand? The market demand is the summation of the demand functions of the three individuals. In this way, we have found out the value of P and Q. Here the market equilibrium price is 37.5 and equilibrium quantity is 106.25. So here we have completed the answer to solution to part 1 of this problem. And what is part 2? The quantity purchased by each consumer. Quantity purchased by each consumer means how much the consumer is purchasing at the equilibrium price, which is 37.5. Individual demand functions are given. These are the individual demand functions. So we put the value of P in the individual demand functions and we get the quantity purchased by each buyers. That is, quantity purchased by X is 31.25, quantity purchased by individual Y is 25 and quantity purchased by individual Z is 50. If we add up 31.25, 25 and 50, we get the market demand 106.25, because market demand is nothing but summation of demand of all the individuals. So here we complete part 2. Now come to part 3. What is part 3? In part 3 we have to find out the price elasticity of each buyer at price 30, not at market price. At price 30, what is the price elasticity of each buyer? So we know price elasticity is what? QD QP into P by Q. Now we have put the value of price, that is 30, in individual demand functions. Qx equals to 100 minus P by 2, Qy equals to 100 minus 2P, Qz equals to 200 minus 4P. In this way, we have found out the quantity purchased by individual consumers at price 30. So we have found out P and Q for each consumer. Now ED equals to dQ dP into P by Q. We have differentiated the demand function of individual consumers. So this is Qx equals to 150 minus P by 2. So we get QdQp minus half. ED equals to QdQp into P by Q, that is minus half into 30. P is 30 here and quantity demanded is 35, we have found out. So elasticity is 0.43. Although it is minus 0.43, but as I have told you, for all practical purposes and for solving numerical problems, we shall ignore the negative side. Then this is the quantity demanded or purchased by individual X. Here we calculate the quantity demanded by individual Y. We do the same thing. T equals to 100 minus 2 into 30, that is we put the value of P, that is 30, in the demand function of Y, that is Q equals to 100 minus 2 into 30, so Q is 40. So at price 30, the individual Y is purchasing 40 and dQ dP is equal to minus 2, Y minus 2, because if we differentiate Q in the demand function of Y, if we differentiate Q with respect to P, what do you get? We get minus 2 because 100 becomes 0 and minus 2P becomes minus 2. So dQ dP is minus 2 for individual Y. ED equals to dQ dP into P by Q. ED equals to dP dQ QD QP by into P by Q. So we have found out ED equals to minus 2 into P is 30 and quantity demanded is 40 by individual Y. So we get elasticity 1.5 and it is for Z. Q equals to 200 minus 4 into 30, that is 200 minus 4P, that is the demand function of Q. So Q equals to 200 minus 4P equals to 200 minus 4 into 30. That is 200 minus 120 equals to 80. And what is dq dp? For individual z, we differentiate q with respect to p in the demand function of z. So we get minus 4. 200 becomes 0 and minus 40 becomes minus 4. So dq dp is minus 4. And it is dq dp into p by q, that is minus 4 into 30 price divided by quantity demanded q. So it is minus 1.5. Again we ignore the negative side and we get elasticity 1.5. So answer is ED of x is 0.43, ED of y is 1.5 and ED of z is 1.5. So we have answered all the parts of this numerical problem. I hope it is understood well. Should you have any doubt in your mind, should you have any query, please let me know through the comment section. I shall be more than glad to respond to all the relevant queries, relevant doubts and relevant comments, suggestions, etc. Okay, and finally, thank you for watching this video. Goodbye and stay well.